Southampton 2, Arsenal 1, and we're out of the FA Cup in the quarterfinals. Back-to-back losses in domestic competitions and English competitions, and two trophies that we're not going to be able to win, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. And this one feels a bit more disappointing. And I'm not saying that the final does, because that's a direct opportunity, but this one feels disappointing because of the opposition, because of the fact that I think even though we had a fully rotated side, different kind of team, we still had enough quality out there and on the bench to win this game. We were down 1-0, poor goal given to them, obviously after a mistake from Ben White. But obviously Dowman was a bright spark in this whole game. And I think in the second half, getting that goal back from a lovely play, lovely ball from Gabriel, lovely pass from Havertz to Van and a good finish from him as well. You're expecting us to kind of go on, continue putting that pressure and getting the second. And in the end, we kind of went into our shell, kind of went a bit lethargic again. And, Southampton continued playing the way they were playing in this game. It was a style clashing type of game. And in the end, their style won. And obviously they'll be proud. And their team going, unbeaten in 12 games on 13 games now. And they're going, but that's poor from Arsenal despite the rotation. And yes, it's probably the least priority out of the three. Yes, I don't think it's going to affect us in the league or momentum or anything like that, in my opinion anyways. Obviously, it might end up doing that and we'll see. But I don't think that. And I think we still have enough opportunity in Champions League as well. In terms of, we're going to rotate our side back on Wednesday, on Tuesday. Sorry, we should still have enough quality and there's still opposition. But it's just the way that we're losing, the way we're not being clinical enough, and the mistakes we're making defensively. Again, Mascara a bit shaky today. Gabriel again defensively at times shaky, even though he did defend well. Ben White all game, and just this lack of security allowed Southampton, who were playing very transitional. They'll get the ball, play the ball forward early, carry the ball. I can't remember who the winger was on Ben White's side, but it was getting a lot of joy down that side. And obviously they were trying to attack early, and obviously they had a lot of chances from Arsenal misreading the judge of the flight of the ball, or miss hitting a clearance, or passing a bad pass, whether that's Mascara, whether that's Gabriel, Ben White, a couple of times in this game. And there was a chance where they could have scored before they scored the first goal, that Mascara did well to recover from his pace. But yeah, like, they scored their goal before half-time when Arsenal 1-0 down. I was expecting a reaction. There was a reaction, especially when Mikel made the subs. Madueke came on the right-hand side for Odegaard, who I think was positive in this game. Odegaard, I think, for the most part, in the first half as well, was getting on the ball, making things happen. He had a couple of shots, could have scored in the first half, miskicked the ball. I think it came off his other foot, his standing foot, but, had another strike that was saved very well from the keeper from outside the box. Was playing balls in the box, linking up well with Dowman. And Dowman kind of got a bit less of the ball when he was on the right-hand side, once Odegaard came off. But I think once he went into the midfield, I think he became alive in the second half. And obviously Gyökeres came off from Jesus, who Jesus wasn't as influential. Helped us play better football in the first half, but you want your strikers to score, and that's what Gyökeres did. But after the goal, and obviously Calafiori came off on Lewis Skelly, we didn't really do much. Guy flicked the ball around the corner, past Mascara, they carried it, played it into the middle, and it literally had a free shot, and it was two good finishes from them, but two easy opportunities for them to score goals. And Arsenal will be very disappointed. All those rotated players, Mikel themselves, the players that came on, we had the Zubamendi on the pitch, Saliba, Gabriel, Havertz, Odegaard, Jesus, Martinelli. We had enough players. It wasn't just rotated. Calafiori, Ben White. So I'm disappointed. And yes, it doesn't define our season. Yes, there's still so much to play for. Yes, the Premier League is still the bread and butter, but when you get out of these competitions, you put more pressure and more emphasis on more focus. I guess there's more rest, but it's annoying. And I wanted to win the FA Cup. I wanted to get to Wembley. I wanted to get to semi-final with City beating Liverpool, Chelsea beating Porto. I wanted to face one of those teams, and now they have a great opportunity to win. And now Arsenal have to put their bread and butter into the Champions League and Premier League, which is the two ones that you want to win, but the two harder ones to win. And given the fact that we had Southampton, it's just disappointing, man. I don't feel so angry. I don't know why. Maybe because the first game back. Maybe because we played okay. Maybe it was because defensive mistakes. Maybe it's because the Premier League is all I'm focused on now. I don't know. We'll see. Towards the end of the season, I'll assess how I feel about, getting out in these competitions and stuff and not winning in the Carabao Cup. But it's annoying today, man, because first game back, right after that loss, you wanted to wash your palate well, and now we have another loss to digest with all the reaction and all the narrative, and people are going to kind of say we obviously, I guess we took players out, and we could talk about rotated squad, but I'm not giving no excuse for this game, because those players are good enough to win. Shout out to Max Dowman. He was a breath of fresh air today. I think he had like 8-9 shots today. Could have scored maybe 1 or 2 goals. Was constantly carrying the ball, getting fouled multiple times. showing great feet in the box, right foot, left foot, you know, constantly creating things, swinging balls into the box, constantly a threat. And you can see he's just growing more and more and understanding his role as being one of those guys that's going to win games and decide games. And I think today showed me we need to see him a lot more. And obviously, we see what Saka's status is. And obviously, Madueke came back today, which was very positive because we saw the last time he was in a brace last week. So clearly his injury wasn't mad and that was just precautionary. But I need Dowman to play. Don't know how much he's going to play or how much he's going to start moving forward. But he definitely will take that starting position at some point from somebody in his team. Just shot the bush out to him. It was nice to see Saliba, Gabriel. It was nice to see Odegaard, but disappointed with the result. Comment down below what you guys think. How do you guys feel? Is there more pressure on Mikel, the players now? Who are you more disappointed in with this loss? And all eyes on to Sporting on Tuesday, my bad. We'll be doing a watch along for that game. So make sure you guys tune in.